All right. Welcome everybody. We are back again. It's Zenith Online Racing. It's Tier 1. We are at round 13 in Hungary at the Hungaroring. I'm Arbeга. Once again with me tonight, it's Puff Digital. How are we doing tonight, sir?
We're doing good. Very excited to be here for a spooky edition of Tier 1
Yes.
Racing
Yes.
as we get close to Halloween here.
Very eerie one. We may have a tune in it for you later on. So, stay tuned. You might
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
us sing by the end of this one. Depends how good the wine tastes. Um, Anyways, we are ready for another night of action here. The championship is very tight in a lot of places. There's a lot to play for here. It's round 13, so things are getting towards the end of the season now. You need to start making an impact if you want to secure your place in the championship. So, expecting to see a lot of guys really going for it tonight. It's a really tough track for overtaking, so we're going to see some pretty hard racing out there tonight. But really, really good talent here in Tier 1, and I expect this to be a good one tonight.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm curious if anyone's going to try and maybe go on the qualify on the medium tire. Seems we've got both Haas cars out on the softs at the moment. Two of
Yeah,
them
right in front of each other as
close.
well.
Yeah, close by. We've seen them work together and help each other with a tow here and there. So maybe setting themselves up for that, but they're getting a little racy, maybe having a little fun to start qualifying off here.
Yeah, some Brazilian fans in the background there. See the two Haas cars very close going through the chicane. I don't know if they're actually fighting for track position, maybe. Looks like it's getting spicy here at Haas this week.
We did see them crash last week
Yeah,
as
we
yeah,
did.
Packers gone and sent it around the outside to
Yeah, he doesn't want
get
to
ahead of
go
his
behind.
teammate there.
So now Dylan's gonna have to back out of this one, I think. Yeah, he does. He backs out, but they're he does have a little bit of pressure behind, but that's on the guy behind him, really. So Packer out in front, the lead car for the Haas team, leading the championship race. Let's get on board with Packer for the first hot lap of the session. Puff, take us away.
Yeah, so obviously all the way up in the eighth, down the pitch straight here. Braking at just about the 50 it looked like into second. He does pretty well to get on the apex. Um, Accelerates well out of that corner as well. A tricky corner here, bit of a lockup, but he does well to stay tight on the racing line and pretty clean here. Very tricky corner coming up now. We'll see how well he takes it. Does go down in the sixth and maybe left a little bit on the table there, or maybe a bit hesitant getting the time on the board, but solid nonetheless. Down into the chicane here, and again, looking very strong so far, using a lot of curb. Just eases off there, and yeah, he is looking strong so far. Really throws it in and extends wide. Obviously purple in every sector as he's the first man to be setting a lap right now, but tricky set of corners here as well. He goes down into second, short shifting into third. Coming around the final corner here, we'll see what kind of launch he can get. Staying in fourth, right out wide onto the curbs, and a very, very respectable 13.8 on the board already. So,
Yeah, he's up on his teammate Dylan there, so being out in front, maybe a bit of an advantage for him. JXW puts
yeah,
in a lap 16.1 on the mediums, so 2 seconds behind on the slower compound for JXW. So Mag goes to the 14.6, so he's within reach, but he's a ways off.
yeah, a bit off the pace at the moment. Um, he's able to do here is we got more times coming through. Dernia with a 15.6.
Comes Fuzz.
AX. Yeah, we'll see what Fuzz can do.
He's
He's
just
invalidated
starting,
that
yeah.
first run, yeah. I'm right on board with him. Bit of a lockup and goes a bit deep there. Looks like he's actually invalidated this one, so maybe on that last corner
Yeah,
extending wide.
it does look
Um,
like it. Do we have anyone else? Aerostrike, perhaps? Just about to finish a lap here. Let's see what he can do. 17.3 for Aerostrike. I guess.
on the medium tire. I think he's probably warmed
Yeah,
up the
he's
tires.
warming them up.
Yeah, oh, the lockup, and again, very deep.
So let's stay with
Not
Aero
a great
here.
exit. Yeah. See what he can do. Another big lockup, and again goes very wide. A pretty scruffy lap so far through the first sector. See if he can kind of claw back some time.
Yeah, Mr.
Pretty
Babylon.
cautious through turn 4.
Saying 13.8, very impressive first lap for Packer, I agree.
Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty difficult to beat. Oh, an arrow into the grass.
Yeah,
As well to save the car, but yeah, he's scuffed the tires and he's going to have to scrub those clean before he can get another run in.
Yeah,
So we have that we can follow along with. We do have Beck on the medium tire. He's been pretty strong around here in previous seasons. I actually believe he took T1 pole here last season.
He may have. Camden is on a flyer as well. Just picked up Camden
Beck
here.
was purple through sector
Camden.
1 and he's extended wide.
Yeah, so has Camden actually. He's just invalidated right near the end of his lap. We have a Renault. Is that Ryan, perhaps? He's just finished his lap he has, so he's not pushing.
We've got Adri coming through turn 4 here. Oh, uses as much of the track as possible. Gets on the curb, and yeah, you can see that coming.
There goes one
Definitely
of the brake
as he
boards.
destroys all the brake markers. Oh, and hooks his tire into the track.
He's in a rough spot here.
Yeah, luckily he's well out of the way as the other cars start to come through here. Very well to stay out of everyone's way.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone's pushing either. Camden actually is on a push lap again, so let's stick with Camden here. He's still pushing, I believe. It said it was purple. Sector 1.
Sorry, you're on board with Camden here?
Yeah. He's running out of battery, but he is
A
going
lot
purple.
of speed. Really, really impressive through that turn there.
It's been purple so far for him, so...
Final 2. He is looking for a 113. Let's see if he can get it. Again, very, very strong.
Oh.
And he's not going to get it. A 15-1 though.
There must be
does
glitching.
put him into 4th.
Must be glitching with those purple sectors there. I don't understand how you'd be so far off.
Yeah, we've got T-Money about to set up his first run on the medium tires here.
Zyg has just started a lap here. He's also on board with
Zyg.
1, so
let's follow the Ferrari driver here.
We're just running the old purple sector glitch tonight.
I'll see him here. Maybe a bit deep there. He does well to recover. He's gone wide, but they haven't invalidated.
Must have got off the throttle enough.
Yeah. That will cost him, but important now to just really get a time on the board. Very well through that corner too, not even locking up. It's very easy to lock up there. I know from personal experience. And see how he does now, full throttle till the finish line, and 15-3, so puts him in 6th place. He is behind Beck, who's on the medium tires though, who's done pretty solid, a 15-2 on the medium tire.
This is a good lap from Beck. Who is that coming around? JX, he's just finishing a lap, it looks like. He's gotten into 8th. Yeah, Zyg put himself in the mix there, 6th place, like, you know, nothing fancy, but he's out-qualified a few guys that he's usually racing against, and that's good for him. I'm on board with T-Money as he crosses the line, 15.5 for T-Money on the mediums. That could hold up fairly well, but probably going to get bumped out to top 10. He probably needs a better time. Debatable if starting outside the top 10, it might even be an okay option here for T-Money. He's pretty solid in race pace. Who do we have?
Trying to start through the field here, figure out who we've got.
Brian, perhaps?
We've got Bobby, he's pushing. Just coming through the 2nd sector here. 8/10 up on his previous best, so that would put him in the thick of things. Ahead of a lot of these guys in the 15s, so a big lockup, but does pretty well to recover there.
Very tight.
Very tight to the curb. Extends quite wide here, and again, full throttle to the finish.
A good time.
And yeah, 15-1 for Bobby. So a really, really solid time.
Yeah, he's barely off of Camden.
There.
Great lap from Bobby. Nice stuff there.
Yeah.
Good call shouting that lap out. Ryan was on a push lap. Let's check in with him. It says he's up 5/10. That would put him between Zog and T-Money. See if he can gain a bit more here.
Pretty solid out of the exit of that last turn.
Big gain there.
Yeah.
14.9. So
breaks
Ryan
into
goes
the 14s. So
the track evolving. Obviously, guys laying down some really nice laps here as we reach the halfway point of the session, or I guess we're beyond halfway now.
Yeah, at this point.
Yeah, and yeah, the time's really improving through the field. So yeah, as I mentioned, C-Money really needs another lap, and he's already down to 10th. So he needs to.
Yeah.
Improve.
Got GP Colin coming through on a hot lap. He's down 8/10 and he's gone off the track there, so I can't imagine he's gonna carry on with this one. Got Camden parked in the middle of the road waiting for traffic, I'd assume. Yeah.
Is Arrow on a push lap? It might be.
We did miss his 14.6, so.
No, he's not though. I think he's cooling down.
I think we've got Dylan about to start a hot lap here.
Yeah, and Packer's on track as well.
Packer yeah, just starting his
so let's get with Packer.
Hot lap, yeah.
We'll check in with Dylan as soon as possible.
He did say in the chat he was up 2/10 on his last run and invalidated, so he's got to believe there's still some time here. And again, looking very strong through turn 1. All the way down to 3rd, and he really does just look right in control of that car, using a lot of the curb on the exit turn 3 there.
He's up 300, so
looks very confident again through the first portion of this lap. Down into the chicane here. Taking some grass perhaps there on the exit, but keeping it nice and steady, and this looks like it could be a very, very impressive lap here.
It's hooked up.
He is up just barely if he can get it put together through this final sector. A bit of a lock up there. Another lock up, but short shifting into the 4th gear. Down into 3rd this time. A bit of extra rotation on the car, and just barely off his time. We'll jump back to Dylan now and see what he can do. They're saying he's up 4/10, which would put him in pole position, and here he comes across the line with a 13.7.
Great lap from Dylan there.
Even lost a bit of time in the last corner.
Great lap from Camden.
14.4.
Is that Beck coming around? No, I think it's got to be JXW. Just about to finish a lap, it looks like, as well. Where can he put himself? In a 9th.
Just behind his teammate there. Beck, though, did have that time on the medium tires.
Six for Zai. That's a
5th,
good run.
yeah. Great lap.
To Zem now. Zem is near the end of his lap, but it is not Zem. It must be Adri. Adri barely improves, I think.
Zem's just about to start his hot lap here. No, he's gone into the pits, I suppose, after he invalidated, so.
Yeah, makes sense. Durnia invalidated as well, it appears. I guess that's Packer closing up, and Camden finishing his run as well. No, it isn't. It must be us. Who's the other?
So we've still got Fuzz, who's yet to set a time. Only 4 minutes left of the session. I assume he's only going to get one crack at this here. Maybe fuels the car for
really
2 runs, but
going for the medium run. It looks like just waiting it out, and yeah, 2 runs you can do easy. The mediums last plenty, so I think 2 runs on the mediums is very plausible. Maybe something we should consider for Thursday. Oh, we're talking strat on the broadcast. Oops.
There's only one strategy.
Yeah, just don't stop
bin
twice.
Don't bin it, yeah.
Zag into the pits. Do we have anybody on a run?
No, it's very quiet on track right now. I think everyone's just heading back into pit lane, getting ready for that final run. I bet the track's
GP on an outlap. He's just about to go. So
let's get on board with GP.
Yeah.
It's smart, you know,
No
if you're
Doth
the only man on
tonight.
track.
Sad without Doth. He's a qualifying monster.
He's got GP now coming into turn 1. A little bit wide, but should be okay. He got on the throttle pretty quickly there. Down into second. Shifts right back up to third. Again, full throttle through this corner here. Moves past Fuzz, who is on the medium tires, so...
Really big lift there.
Yeah. Keeping it in 5th gear through the uphill right-hander, down into the chicane. Looks like he's taking that pretty cleanly again, using a lot of the curb before entering the corner. Getting nice and wide there, using the full width of the track. A bit hesitant through that turn there. He is up 0.8 on his time, but he's going to need more than that to really move up the field here. We'll see if he can add another few tenths in the final sector. On the throttle, nice and quick there. And a 15.1, so he did add a bit of time there. We're going to see, I think, a lot of these times improve, though. I am on board with Fuzz now, who is coming into a lot of traffic through turn 1 there. Everyone did well to just drive out of the way, but I'm sure it's a little distracting.
He's in clear air now, so should be able to get a good run, and he's really going for that medium tire for the race start, so...
Yeah, and it's what he's got to live with now. We'll see how he does. He goes all the way into 8th before turn 4 there, so... We've seen most guys stick in 7th. I wonder if he's going to try and maybe get another run here this lap. Well, not particularly bad. It's looked a little scruffy from Fuzz here, but it's always kind of the difficulty when waiting qualifying. You don't really get those warm-up runs. 53.6 through the first 2 sectors. Bit of a lock-up. Again, took the apex quite nicely. Hanging it in 3rd gear. Again, we want to accelerate. See how well he can punch the throttle on the exit of his corner here as he comes across the line with a 15.3, so only 12th place for Fuzz. That's going to be his last run here, so really banking perhaps on the reverse strategy. We'll see how that works out for him.
Looks like Dylan and Packer about to start laps again.
We've missed Zimoglis too. He's gone and set 14.2, so a really solid lap from him. We have Arrow on a hot lap just about to cross the line here. What he's able to do. He improves, but just barely, and not enough to get ahead of Camden. But he does sneak past Zyg with that lap, so...
Zyg on a run right now as well. Let's see if he can
Yeah,
improve.
behind Dernia, though, who's also on a run. So, I mean, not obligated at all to move out of the way. Well within his rights to complete this lap. Zyg should be far enough behind that it's not an issue, but it can always be a bit distracting.
He's up a 10.5, so that would put him ahead of Arrow.
Dernia has improved as well, but not by a lot, so I don't know if it's going to move him much.
Big snap for
the
Zyg
field.
there. That's going to cost him. See if he still has enough to get Arrow here.
Dernia finds a lot of time in that 3rd sector.
He gets Arrow by 100th. That's crazy.
Good lap from Zyg. I'll say, after he scored those points in Baku, he's looked a new man. Much stronger in recent races. We've got Dylan about to cross the line. We'll see if he can improve yet again. Packer is invalidated, so this will be off, but that does look like it'll be pole position unless Arrow's able to really pull a bunch of time out. No, he's not. So I
That's
believe
it.
that is it for quali. Yeah. All right, but the Haas team continues their dominance here in qualifying.
All right. I'm just going to step away for one quick minute, and I will be back, and we'll take you through the formation lap in a few.
Now's my time to shine.
Yeah, time to read the order.
Yeah, I will take you through the qualifying order as well. If you guys have any predictions, things you want to see, who do you think will win, who will be on the podium, leave a few comments and I'll read them on air. Qualifying has finished. Packer says, Arrow, retire. Arrow says, no, you. Alright, here we go. Pole position, IOR Dylan. IRO Dylan. In second, we have IRO Packer, just a tenth and a half behind. Third, we have Zamoglis, a good showing from him on the second row. Camden in fourth. Fifth, we have Zyg, a really solid lap from him, just edging out Arrow, who's in sixth. In seventh, we have Ryan, just barely edging out JXW as well. So some really, really close times. Same with Dernier and GP Colin in ninth and 10th. Bobby, poor man's pole, great lap from him. Sets him up nicely for the race. And we have Beck, Fuzz, T-Money, Adri as the rest of the full-time T1 drivers. So, shaping up to be a pretty competitive race based off of some of those qualifying times. We'll see if the Haas drivers can avoid crashing into each other this week. Although it was very, very exciting last week, so maybe if they want to bump a little bit, I'm sure Arrow would appreciate it. Just give me a moment. I will take us through the standings. Okay, hold on. T1 standings after Silverstone. In first, tied for first place, we have Packer and Aerostrike with 160 points apiece. In third, we have Camden with 126. Fourth, we have Dylan. Fifth, we have ZOR, Mr. Joshua, who is not here this week, so we'll see some guys gain some ground on him in front, maybe some guys from behind catch him. In sixth, we have Doth, who is also absent this week. In seventh, we have Ryan. Eighth.
Matthew Dernier.
Uh-oh.
Busted
He's gonna
on
get in
stream.
trouble.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're about to start.
In eighth, we have Pillars. Ninth, we have Vitality. 10th, we have Charlie. 11th, Zamoglis. 12th, Fuzz. Fuzz and Zamoglis are tied in points, actually. So, little battle going on. In 13th, we have Team Money. 14th, we have Dernia. 15th, Zyg. 16th, JXW. 17th, GP Colin. 18th, Beck. 19th, Adri. And 20th, Bobby. The only man without points this season, Bobby. Poor man's pole here tonight. That's my prediction. Bobby scores a point here in the Hungarian Grand Prix. Gets himself on the board, breaks that goose egg. Let's go, Bobby.
Aerostream, congrats on Matthew for getting 10 seconds. It's a dry race, by the way. We forgot to mention that in qualifying. Dry race.
That would make sense. I guess that's probably why we saw guys trying the medium tire. No point in doing the medium if it's not dry. Anyways, though, constructors, real quickly, we'll go through. Haas leading the way. In second, we have Red Bull, who their second driver, Fuzz, did promise a 1-2 in the race here tonight, so keep that in mind. Fuzz has a lot of work to do to hold up his end of the bargain. In third, we have Racing Point. Fourth, we have Renault. Fifth, Mercedes. Sixth, Ferrari. Seventh, Alfa Romeo. Eighth, McLaren. Ninth, Williams. And 10th, we have the AlphaTauri team. So, alright. That is our standings as we head into the race here tonight.
Alright, so we got Dylan on pole position here. Packers in second, Zamoglis in third, Camden fourth, Zyg fifth, Aerostrike starts sixth, Ryan seventh, JXW eighth, Dernia ninth, GP Colin is 10th, and Bobby starting on those hards in 11th place, looking like a very good candidate, as you mentioned, for a point here. Maybe even a few. T-Money. Actually, Beck and Fuzz are both disqualified here from the formation lap. Both starting on the hards as well. T-Money's gone for the mediums. Adri has gone on the hards, Wolfsburg medium, RC medium, and Zenith has gone hards. So we are just reforming the grid at the moment. See, Fuzz and Beck, they're very cold, hard tires to start this race. Turn 3 there. Could be dangerous. Alright. We're ready to go racing here. Got Dylan on pole position and his teammate Packer in second. We have 5 lights on. And they're off. We are racing at the Hungaroring. Oh, great start there for Zem. Looks like Zem potentially going into the race lead here on the start. He's got the line on the inside. And he gets out-broke by Dylan. And, oh, it's very close. They're still side by side. Packer taking a peek
3
as well.
of them.
3 wide here.
Oh, and a lot of confidence. We'll see if the Haas drivers can keep out of each other's way here.
Packer just getting edged out by Dylan there. And Zem
Oh,
back to
we got a
third.
Renault in the background. Getting a little squirrely, but does hang on well.
Very tough to tell everyone is right now with the timing. It's a little bit off.
Yeah. Everyone, though, looks cleanly through the early stages of this race so far. I don't see any cars off. Doesn't look like any damage in the background either. We'll see if anyone pits. Perhaps we missed it, but yeah, everyone looking pretty clean. The opening phases of this race. Not a lot of movement throughout the field. We've got a few guys who have gained a couple positions, but nothing too drastic. We do have Fuzz, who has lost 2 places off the start in 15th.
So Packer, trying to hang on to his teammate Dylan, got a very good start there. Managed to get the first place back, and he's being under threat from Zem and Packer on the start there, and Camden Luca behind. Also applying the pressure to Zamoglis now as well.
Yeah, we've seen recently Camden very strong pace. Always fighting for podium positions, and no different here to start this race so far. So
Packer all over the back of Dylan here.
A lot of very close gaps throughout the field. Still no real field spread. Got the front 2 just on the edge of DRS, about to break that. But everywhere else,
Packer with a big slide there on the
second.
exit. Back end really whipped around on him there, but he kept on it, and he's still closing on his teammate Dylan.
And an early time penalty here for Adri, already 3 seconds
Ryan
on the board.
on Durnia, and he's through. Very unique overtaking place there. And GP Collin taking a peek as well, but gets squeezed out there. Durnia not losing 2 places in 2 corners.
Packer sets a new fastest lap, so you can see he is gaining slightly, and we do have a car. It looks like RC's spun round, maybe a bit of contact that I missed, but he has gone
DRS
round.
now. Says Packer get DRS here, or is it next lap? I think it's next lap.
Yeah, I think the detection points before
the
start finish line. So, and there's only 1 detection zone here, I believe.
Look at the little group forming here. Zag and Arrow are starting to close in on Camden and Zem. So
yeah, and they are breaking away from JX. So
JX is closing back in though,
and he has put a bit of a gap on Ryan behind as Durnia picks up his first penalty. So a few guys getting penalties early on.
Packer getting very loose again on the exit of that curb. If he's gonna have a moment there tonight, it's gonna be there.
Dropped from the session, so
terrible news for Beck. He was on a good strategy.
Yeah.
Packer really closing here. I think he's going to have a real solid crack at Dylan. Dylan locks up here. That's going to cost him a little bit of time on the exit.
Yeah, he is very, very close here. Such a short straight, though. We'll see. Able to take a peek. He's not quite close enough. We'll see if maybe anywhere else on the field. Camden not close enough. Arrow not close enough. So One holding position for now, but Ryan's gone to the inside of JXW. And JXW does well to hang that around the outside and keep the position, at least for now. As Ryan, though,
back.
does, yeah, send it down the inside. We'll see if JX can again find that grip on the outside, and yeah. Great job from...
all over him, though.
Yeah, JXW to hold that position for the time being as Zyg picks up a penalty, so...
Great little scrap there for those two drivers. That's for 7th place.
Yeah, Beck does seem to have found his way back into the session. He has lost a couple places, though, which I'm sure he'll be mildly annoyed with.
Matthew Durnia is now closed up on Ryan and JXW here, so Ryan, he's really hanging on. He's probably going to take another crack back at JXW here. It's a good little scrap we're having. Let's check out front here with Packer, though. Is he going to be close enough with the DRS? We'll check in with Ryan as soon as we can.
Great shot of them coming around the final turn here, as we do have a yellow flag. It looks like Team Money has gone off, yeah.
Maybe contact there. We saw him trying to make a move earlier around that part of the track. No,
yeah,
nobody able to get through here. What about Ryan? Ryan is able to take a look here.
Does send it down the inside, and JX, I think, has kind of relented the position this time, yeah.
No, he's switched
back.
But
he's got a nice little switchback, yeah.
Ryan still hangs on, though.
Through here, and Ryan does well to park his car right in the middle of the road and plant himself in 7th position. So we have Bobby in the pits as well as Team Money. I wonder if both these guys are getting wing changes. Bobby, I was rooting for you. What's happened?
He's gone to the medium tire, which is very unfortunate because that means he'll have to stop again for sure. He started on the hards, so he really needs a safety car now to come back into competition. They must have made contact, those two.
Now another yellow flag. Who could that be? It looks like Beck has gone off.
We've lost a lot of interval timing up the front here, so I'm having a hard time keeping up with what's going on, but it looks like we have a safety car.
Beck is missing his entire front wing. He is facing the wrong way. RC does well to dangle his way by.
So it's a safety car. Everyone into the pits, including both Haas cars. That is going to hurt Packers' race immensely.
And Beck is out. Looks like he underestimated the lack of downforce he had, and he has got off track and has pinned it. So Beck is out of this race, and yes, we do have a safety car. So a lot of these guys who started on the alternate strategy
is just dropping down the order.
I guess
he get out in front of Arrow? He did. He got in front of Arrow still. That's the most important person at the moment for Packer, and Arrow got out just behind Packer. They did double stack. It was a very unfortunate for Packer. He's lost a lot of ground to Dylan there. Look at the difference. He's lost, what, 6 places?
Yeah, so really dropping down the order. He's got Samoglis, Camden, Zyg, all ahead of him, who were behind him earlier.
And some reserve drivers, Wolfsburg, Jinnit, Adri now.
Yeah. Finding himself in first place on the hard tire. Only 5 laps old.
I was going to say, I don't want to say anything crazy here, but I think these hards will last the length of this race. I know they're not going to be in great shape, but Adri could end up on the podium here.
Well, Adri still has to pit.
If Jinnit plays
we'll see if
does he have to pit?
Some of these,
okay. Yeah.
Adri does, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the guys on 5-lap old tires started on that. That's right. Okay. Because it says lap 6 in the top left, so I was like, oh, did he pit already?
Yeah. So I think... Looks like a lot of guys pit, even some guys who are on alternate strategies.
Adri, has pretty good pace. Like, he could hang there with Dylan, and if Jinnit falls away a bit and holds up the guys behind, that could still work out really nicely for Adri.
Yeah, he's just got to keep his head at this point, and he is in a very, very strong position.
And it looks like Wolfsburg
this also works out well for Team Money. I mean, obviously he's still in last place, but at least now he'll close himself back up to the pack.
Yeah, same with Bobby there. So Bobby now
on those fresh moves.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's got to stay on them, right? Because we're under safe. He could put the hards back on Bobby. and try to go
Yeah.
to the end. Like, it's probably doable. He's technically done his tire change. Could try something. He's already near the back, but I guess he's gained a place now on Wolfsburg. It's probably worth staying out. There could be another safety car. A lot of guys
Yeah, definitely.
might need to pit again anyway. You never know. Like, we don't know if some of these guys can make these hard last 30 laps. So, a lot could change still. I'm assuming a lot will change. But, for now, we've got everything kind of shook up a little bit. Dylan in a very dominant position here. He's really in the best position to win this race.
Yeah.
Packer, Zag, Camden. Now look at Zamagos, Camden, and Zag have all got ahead of Packer now. So now Packer is going to have to fight his way through 3 cars who were all fighting already. It's going to be very tough for Packer.
Yeah. In a track too, it's very, very difficult.
He might have been better off to sit out front and try to. I guess not, because Dylan would have got out in second, right? So if Dylan comes out in second or third, and Packer's in front, he's still going to
end up
losing
anyway.
A
lot of places.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He's just in a really unfortunate situation, being so close to his teammate there. But his safety car in this lap, it seems they've backed off quite a bit. I would assume yes. I missed the little notification, but Adria has given the safety car quite a bit of breathing room.
Adria's got a nice little cushion there as well.
Back off a bit more here, but should be good to go racing whenever he decides to punch it. Oh, it stayed out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there it is on the pit straight. So,
I guess the lights were still on. We should have probably picked that up.
Yeah, well. Next time.
Adri's just messing with us out there. Hey, he's still a little too close to the seat. Oh, it stayed out. Alright. I guess we could sing the Monster Mash on this lap if you want.
Are we ready? I'm gonna save that, I thought.
Yeah, we'll save it.
Maybe
I need more.
Get another big crash.
If we get another safety car, definitely. Because we've done the standings, we've done safety car banter now, so. Mitt Romney's calling for the Monster Mash. I don't know. I think we got to do it. Stick around. Bring your friends.
Stick around.
Everybody.
Yeah.
We're gonna sing the Monster Mash at some point.
Duet version.
Yeah. I don't know if we should. No, we got to do the alternating parts. I think. We didn't practice this, by the way, so if we butcher it.
Yeah, cut us some slack.
Cut us some slack.
I also don't know how to sing, so if there's that, I'm off key, you know.
We just figured to save us from copyright disputes, so...
Is in this lap. We've been saved from having to sing, at least for the time being.
Perfect.
One more lap and we would have had no excuses left, so...
Adri's rocking that... It looks like an Alonso tribute helmet, in a sense. The Spaniard, Adri, leading the pack now here in Tier 1. He is a full-time driver, so... Adri has a lot to play for here. He's got a nice... Oh, he nearly lost it on the restart.
Just warming the tires,
yeah,
Adri knows.
Just making sure.
Just warming the tires. There we go, and he has punched it, but Dylan, yeah, immediately on the back of him here. We'll see if he tries to make a move. It's going to be a late lunge if he does. I assume he's going to save it for later, but he's really late on the brakes there. Adri forces him out wide.
Packer going through on Zag there.
And Adri again locking up, trying to hang it around the outside, and Dylan already disposes of Adri in a few corners. So Dylan in a very, very commanding position to win this race.
Packer all over Zem here. He's going to
happen to this.
Aerostrike out a penalty early here.
Yeah, and we've already got 2 seconds back to Camden, so Camden may be a bit squirrely on the restart. I did not see.
Packer really hounding Zamagos right now. Just wants to find a way through. Desperate. He watches his teammate disappear in the distance.
Dylan already a second ahead of Adri, already broken DRS in the first lap here. So Adri, if I'm in Adri's position, I'm just looking behind. Got to work on keeping Camden's models pack of this group behind you, and you're in a very solid position. So
yeah, if these guys can all start scrapping with DRS, then Adri can pull away a little bit and build himself a little bit of a safety net for his pit stop.
So Arrow has gotten by Zyg as well.
Packer sends it
now
late on Zem down the inside.
Zem does really well to leave a lot of room.
Yeah, Zem fighting it back though. Might have a crack back down the inside. No, he tucks in. Arrow looking for a piece there.
Packer,
Packer
really
through on a charge.
Yeah, doing well to weave his way through this traffic here.
Fuzz and Durnia going side by side.
And Liv Romney did point out something's happened to Jinnit. He was in this group here, and now he's way down in last place. I missed that as well, so maybe he was that yellow flag.
Receive with a penalty there, 3 seconds. Got Arrow Strike closing. We've got Packer closing now on Camden, so Camden really, I think the biggest challenge so far for Packer. Packer really and Camden are a lot more similar in pace than any of the drivers he's overtaken so far, so this could be a bit of a challenge for Packer. He will get DRS, I believe, next lap. See if Camden can hang on to this. This should be a great scrap. Let's stick with this one.
Camden looks pretty good here, gets a good exit. So yeah, DRS is enabled. Obviously they won't get it this lap due to the location of the detection zone, but Camden, I think, even with DRS.
Here comes Arrow. Down the inside on Zem. On those mediums they touch. And Arrow's through.
A little bit of contact, yeah. Arrow really does need to use the pace advantage in those tires. Do not think
Buzz taking a peek at JXW, but he's not quite close enough. Let's get back to Packer and Camden. Should be a great duel between these two.
And for Camden, you know, you really just gotta not worry about it in this section too much. There's not really any real overtaking spots. Just make sure you're hitting your apexes and not cutting corners.
Frustrating
it's
Packer.
Different. Exactly. Put your car in the right position.
Because really, Dylan's out of touch at this point. Like, you got to focus on keeping this guy behind you.
Oh, and Cam Packer, though, is going to go for it here.
Packer sends
Very
it late,
late
big lock up. And they go side by side on the exit. Packer's
Camden,
through, though. He gets it under control.
Lifted, yeah. Kind of just let...
well, Camden now under threat from Arrow Strike, who's on those mediums. He's looking very racy on those medium tires.
Oh, an Arrow! Big moment, almost sent it into the pit wall there.
And he's under threat now from Zem.
Yeah, can fight it back. Arrow does have DRS though, so he should be okay.
Got Fuzz taking a peek here on JX as well.
And Arrow's gone wide again. Again, he does have DRS, so...
Curse of the commentator. Yeah, a nice little train forming here, though. Aerostrike, Demoglis, Zyg, Ryan, JX, Fuzz, Matthew Durnia closing in. A nice little scrap there. Camden trying to hang on to Packer, but really, Camden now has been given an opportunity to get away from that group that I just mentioned. This would be a perfect chance for Camden to snag a podium here tonight if he can start to clear Aerostrike, but unfortunately it appears he's falling towards Arrow, who is bringing his friends along for a party tonight. It's a podium party and everybody wants in.
There's a big group behind here, yeah.
Zem on a new diet. We were discussing food in the Discord earlier. Zemoglis on that new diet, looking quite racy here. He smells the podium. It looks a lot tastier than his dinner.
He's hungrier than normal. He's hungrier than normal.
Exactly. He's starving himself to create that, like, savage instinct. And he wants a piece.
And a big train Fuzz very late on the brakes, almost into the back of JXW. And JXW's gone off, but no, he does save it. He is going to have to let Fuzz through, but if he can stick with these guys, I mean, any one of them can have a moment here, so...
JXW all over Fuzz here still.
And I mean, Packer isn't necessarily closing all that quickly on Adri. He is gaining time, but not to the extent that Dylan is pulling away. So I think... Oh, we have a car off. It looks like it's Bobby.
Oh, no. Bobby. What a promising qualifying session, and his race is just falling apart.
Yeah. You know what, though? It's a long race. We're not even halfway through.
Fuzz now
Another safety car.
Closing in on Ryan here, so nice little scrap here up to 5th place. Actually, Aerostrike is really starting to close on Camden as well, so...
Yeah, with that tire advantage, so...
Aerostrike now. Now he's bringing his friends for the party.
Yeah, we see the massive DRS train. And we've got Fuzz right on the back of Ryan. He's going to go to the inside. And he does send it late. Ryan leaves room, and Zyg's gone round.
Oh, Zyg's spun.
Yeah, so
and
Fuzz, in the space of one corner, gains 2 positions here. And is really making those medium tires work as he now sets his sights on Zimaglis ahead. So,
do you think he gets to the end? Do you think these guys on the 7-lap-old mediums get to the end? It's a tall order, but it might be doable.
I really don't think so. It looks like we have a little bit of an incident behind here. This JXW's picked up 5 seconds, so I'm curious what that was for. But yeah, Fuzz, after his disappointing qualifying session, obviously did want to run this reverse strategy. And we see him now.
Aerostrike has separated from Zimaglis and is now pressuring Camden.
And we do have Packer, who's gotten into DRS range on Adri, but he's not going to be close enough to get that move done here as Dylan sets a new fastest lap, 18.4 out front. And Camden using all of the track here to try and break Slipstream, but Aero not quite close enough to send it on this occasion. We'll see now Packer does continue to take time out of Adri, but Adri is looking pretty strong in the car here. I mean, he's not making any mistakes. A little bit of a lockup there, but he's not closing like we saw him close on some of these other guys earlier, so Adri takes a bit of grass with him, doing a little bit of landscaping, but again, looks very strong through this middle sector.
Aerostrike is all over Camden here. Really applying the pressure. I have enough wine in my glass to consider singing the Monster Mash in the next 10 laps or so. So, we're well on our way.
We're on our way.
By the time I finish that, we're good.
And Adri is going to hang on for another lap here.
Comes Aerostrike with the DRS down the inside.
Oh, and he sends it, yeah.
He does send it, and he is
bit of a lock-up, but yeah. And then behind we have Fuzz really closing on Zimaglis here. We'll see. He does seem to... He sends it down the inside. And he's made contact. Yeah, it was a bit of a late move from Fuzz. I don't think Zem really is at fault there. But hopefully Fuzz didn't pick up any damage.
Nice chopper shot here. Camden chasing down Aero still. Zem and Fuzz trailing behind. JXW closing in on Ryan now. So Ryan going the opposite direction that we've seen him the last few weeks. He's usually trending forward. He's trending backwards this week.
I'm wondering if Fuzz maybe did pick up a bit of damage as Ryan now is back in DRS range on him. So, and Adri again though seems to be building that gap up again. I mean, hovering around a second. It was at 6/10 at one point. So, I mean,
this is working well though for Adri because he's still building to the rest of the field, right?
Yeah, and sorry, I see now if Aero can close back in on this group, but yeah, Packer nowhere near close enough to even think about sending a move down into turn 1. And Again, we see with DRS, Packer closes in to just about half a second. And Andrew, though, has been very, very strong through this middle sector. We'll see if we can build that gap up yet again.
So Packer
lock up again, but Andrew, yeah, looks really strong for this middle sector.
Packer on the 10-lap old hard tires, Adri on the 16-lap old hard tires, and Adri making it work for now. Keeping Packer behind.
Yeah.
He's giving Arrow a chance to close, but he's really not capitalizing on that opportunity at the moment. He's still kind of stuck in that same range. Behind Arrow, we've got Camden and Zamoglis closing back in, and they've got Fuzz and Ryan and JX trailing behind them.
This is as close as Packer's been here. Adri takes a bit of a different line, maybe to get more speed on the exit, but this is going to be Packer's best chance here. Yeah, and I think Packer is definitely going to clear Adri
looking to fight back. No, he just lets it go. Adri at this point just needs to build a gap. He doesn't really need to fight Packer. Did a good job keeping him behind, but he's obviously at a similar pace level at the moment, so maybe he can hang with Packer, get a little bit of DRS for a lap or two. And then maybe pull away from the rest of the field there, and then when he pits, he's a lot closer and can really attack.
And Fuzz gets a move done on Zamoglis there. He has been fighting him for a while. As Arrow picks up another penalty, I believe he's at 6 seconds now, so a bit out of character for Arrow, who's usually a guy who doesn't pick up too many penalties.
Yeah, and he's been proven winner at this track, so he's strong here. It's maybe having an off night. Not something we see often from Arrow, but it does happen to the best.
And now we've got, looks like Bobby perhaps off yet again. And it is indeed. See now, Fuzz really hunting down Camden as Packer puts in a new fastest lap, so really getting a move on, trying to pressure his teammate up ahead.
Camden doing a good job breaking that toe, and Fuzz not close enough yet.
Camden hovering around DRS on Arrow ahead. And again, we've got really 4th through 9th, all quite close to one another. Adri seems to be maintaining that gap.
I do wonder what lap, really, there's got to be a crossover where the hards become a better tire than the mediums, and I wonder if it may be around lap 12, 13, 14.
I've got to assume, yeah, it's really right on the best years on those mediums. I'm definitely behind them at this point. We'll see if maybe Fuzz or Arrow start to struggle a bit.
I mean, Fuzz is still moving well, but it does look like Arrow is struggling. But, I mean, again, Arrow... We've seen Arrow with some time penalties tonight as well, so Arrow just may be struggling in general, not necessarily related to tires. Fuzz looks sharp at the moment, so...
Yeah, it really does. We assume he's going to have to pit again, so we'll see kind of when he decides to do that. I would assume probably around lap 26, 27.
He does have his... He does have his teammate right in front of him, and I wonder if he does close on Arrow, if maybe he lets him through. Just because Fuzz is on a better pace at the moment.
Yeah, really struggling to get by Camden here, though.
He
sends it!
Very late.
I don't know about that move there.
He let him back through, it seems, but they did touch, and you saw the hand go up. Mr. Fazale in his Red Bull cockpit. Not sure why he would complain, because he was the one that absolutely chucked it through, but, you know...
That's why they call him Insane Asylum Asylum.
Yes. First time we've said that this year.
Well, it seems appropriate.
Hopefully Electric Chicken's tuned in. I mean, we have a lot of viewers every week that never say anything, so maybe Chicken is one of them.
Yeah.
Cheers, Chicken.
You
Hope
remember
you're doing well.
Chicken. But yeah, Insane Asylum has sent a few questionable moves down into turn 2.
Put the straight jacket on him. This man is off his rocker.
out of control at the moment. It doesn't seem to have cost him in terms of pace, so I don't think he's
No,
picked up any damage.
no, he's gotten away with it.
Camden
It
hasn't
seems
either.
Camden's probably got a little bit of stain in his underwear after that one.
And he seems to have quite a bit of an advantage in terms of
He's
top
sliding
end speed.
all over the place. He is absolutely putting it down, and he's actually put himself into Zamoglis's clutches now. So
Yeah, and I
Zamoglis
do
now,
think those hard tires are going to start gaining an advantage. I mean,
yeah, it seems they are starting to gain on the medium runners now substantially. The medium guys just seeming to fall away as the hard runners starting to pick it up a bit. Adri has not really, that 4-second gap he's had to Arrow hasn't really gone anywhere. Like, you think about the guys like Ryan, JX, Matthew, those guys are losing time to Adri back there. Well, he's keeping the front runners away from him. So Adri restarting the race in first, it's really paid off for him. He's having a nice run here tonight.
yeah, he is. I'd assume his tire life is probably a bit closer to Arrow's than these other hard runners. Obviously, he hasn't pit yet, so I mean, 20 lap old hard tires.
I think at this point he can kind of just, I don't know, really. I mean, he can definitely get off these tires now and finish this race. I think he maybe should consider it, because these guys are all starting to get dragged towards him as Arrow is starting to chop away a bit. I think Adri definitely needs to consider pitting at this point, because
we have JX, who has gone into the pits from the medium tire. Maybe picked up some damage. I do think he's gone back onto medium, so I was going to say, I think it's too early to take the softs at this point. I think you don't really want to take them much longer than 10 laps around this track, so I'd probably aim for more around
like 3 laps from now you could get on the softs. Some of these, Adri definitely I think is going to the softs to the end at this point, because he still is keeping the gap to Arrow. He's not really under threat from these guys gaining much more on him. If you look at the gap to Ryan, Durnia, T-Money, those guys are falling away from Zem, Fuzz, Camden, and Arrow, and Adri is kind of just keeping them at arm's length. So Adri's actually gaining on his closest rivals and can put the softs on and hunt them down at the end of the race.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the pit lane delta is around a track like this, but he would come out ahead of Zyg, I believe, as he's got about 27 seconds to Zyg
Adri
at
is
the moment.
On for some points and potentially the fastest lap here if he can get onto those softs and find some space.
And again, Fuzz, Camden, Zem, all chasing each other down, all stuck in one another's DRS, so not a lot of movement, and a lot of these gaps holding pretty steady as Ryan really unable to work his way up to this group here, as we see a few of these guys lock up coming into turn 2.
And again, Adri's gap to Arrow still 3.6, it just hasn't changed, and as you mentioned, Ryan is sort of fluctuating in that 1.8, 2.3 second range for the last few laps, and Durnia is falling away, T-Money is falling away, so Adri is actually gaining on his closest rivals at this point, and if he can go another 2-3 laps, he can put those softs on. Adri looking like a dark horse for a nice haul of points tonight.
Yeah.
Does he have penalties? I can't remember if I've seen him pick up any.
I believe he's picked up at least 3. I'm positive, actually, he has at least 3. 3 seconds, yeah, sorry, yeah. 3 seconds.
Arrow, a big wobble there. And here comes Zem.
6 seconds.
Zem now smells blood. As we mentioned, Zem is hungry. And
Zem
he is looking
hungry
for a
he
neat
got
and
a
helpful
good
of
run.
Mr. Fazale here. Not close enough.
Not close enough, no. It's a waiting game at this point. I mean, Fuzz is going to have to pit. I can't imagine these tires are going to last 11 more laps for Fuzz. Arrow as well. I mean, we've seen him try some pretty difficult
I would not
tire
be surprised
strategies,
if Arrow goes to the end of the race.
I mean, that is going to be risky, as these tires will then have 28 laps on them, so...
Yeah, it would be... he might... Yeah. I don't know. I could see him doing it. I don't know if it's a great idea, but at this point, if he pits, he's going to have a lot of cars to pass.
So that's the thing, too, right? I mean, T-Money, I'd assume, has to pit again. So T-Money, Arrow, and Fuzz, all in the medium tires. Adri's going to stay ahead of all these guys when he makes his mandatory stop. So, yeah, I'll be curious to see. Here we go again, down the pitch straight. We'll see if anyone gets a wicked run this time, but no, Camden again. Very aggressively offline. Buzz really has no chance. Zem has no chance.
Arrow, I think they are starting to catch Arrow a little bit again as well. The gap with Camden was 1.8, it's now 2, but they are seeming to be trending towards Arrow Strike.
Yeah, Arrow does actually seem to be gaining a bit of time on Adri. I don't know if he's using a lot more of his battery, factory wide, but
perhaps
not substantially, but he is, yeah.
I haven't had the battery up the entire race, so we'll put that up now. I think 11 laps to go. We'll bring the battery up for you guys. I don't really like to mention it, but I'll at least display it.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil nothing for the guys tuning in. I don't give away any secrets. But big lockup from Arrow there. Let's see, does Adri pit this lap? No, he has stayed out yet again. And I could see him pitting on lap 27. Maybe he takes these tires another lap and then gets onto the softs. But great Fuzz.
As these guys sort of stuck together, Ryan is starting to close on them now.
Got Team Money, who's also caught up to the back of Dernia, so...
Do you think Fuzz is going to try to send it here? We've seen him try a few times. No, he's not close enough at all.
We would definitely put him in the asylum if he went for that one.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. He already might be going there.
Yeah, I mean...
Upon review. It's pending.
Doesn't seem to have caused any harm to anyone, as we do have a car off.
Dernia.
It looks like it is Dernia, yes.
Dernia.
Who's gone off in an odd location. I'm surprised he's gone off there. Maybe the tire's giving up on him as he has dropped down to 13th. Yeah.
But with traffic approaching, he got back on the track safely, turned around, didn't get in anyone's way.
And Fuzz is very, very close to Camden, but again, such a difficult overtaking spot.
And it's really not on there. But Fuzz
and
now
Zem's
right
so
on the
close
tail.
behind him too.
Zem still has not eaten
Fuzz
his meal.
has gone into the pits. So we'll see if Zimoglis can now close to the back of Camden. He doesn't have Fuzz in the way any longer. And if he can close up to the back here, we'll see what he can do.
Fuzz to the
Fuzz,
soft,
yes.
obviously.
Soft.
Surely Adri should... I guess he doesn't really need to pit until he's about to start getting slowed down, right?
Fuzz comes out behind JX and GP Colin. So down in 12th, he's going to have a lot of work to do. To get a good haul of points.
Get back to this battle up here. Zem has fallen out of the DRS range of Camden. These guys surely going to the end of the race now. So Zem, these guys all racing heads up. Fuzz, I think, yeah, he has a lot of work to do to catch up to that group again.
Adri still dropping little bits of time to Arrow behind. We'll see if this is the lap he fits. I mean, yes, Adri has gone in. I'd assume, obviously, onto the soft tire. Arrow has stayed out, so
or at least attempt to.
He's definitely got Fuzz covered. I think Adri should probably come out ahead of Zyde. That would be my best guess here, but we'll see if he can also get ahead of T-Money.
T-Money pits. T-Money pits, so Adri definitely ahead of T-Money. Here comes
He's going to get ahead of Zyde. It's going to be very close here. Zyde full throttle down the pitch straight. Adri just out of the pit lane.
Adri's got him.
Yeah. Well-timed stop.
Strategy from Adri. Comes out on the soft tires. Absolutely no laps on these. 0 laps on these softs. Adri in 7th place now. Look at the guys in front of him. 21 lap old hards. Like Adri, I surely think he's going to take seconds a lap out of these guys ahead, and he'll be challenging potentially for a podium here.
And Fuzz has gotten past both JXW and GP Collins, so already into the points. We'll see what other moves he can make here. As Arrow obviously finds his way onto the podium currently, but again, it's going to be a tall order to take these tires.
You know, he hasn't really lost the gap to Camden, and you have to say Camden's best days on those hards are over. Is Arrow has to stay out at this point. He has to try it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to come out behind Adri.
If he can cover Camden off, he gets a podium. Well, he's still got that 6-second penalty as well.
Yeah, I can't remember if Camden's picked up any time. We've got Zamoglis in DRS range again on Camden, so he could work his way through here and get that done. Adri has already taken out damn near 2 seconds on Ryan as Fuzz puts in the fastest lap, and yeah, he's really getting a move on here. He's taking 2 seconds out of Zyg on that last lap. Does go a bit deep into turn 1, but yeah, Adri really is going to have to get a move on here to work his way up. But if he can catch Ryan, he's not very far behind Zamoglis, then Camden, then Arrow, so Adri can do here. And I think we've got Bobby off yet again. No, it's Jinnit this time. The other Williams driver for the night. And Fuzz has made his way past Zyg. I missed that actually. That was in a very usual overtaking spot, so I'm curious how he was able to get that move done. And we'll see if he's got pace over Adri. 4 seconds behind currently. And still quite a few laps to go, 5 laps, 6 laps, so Zamoglis getting closer every lap here.
Yeah, he's really closed in on Camden here.
And I mean, I don't know the penalty situation for all of these guys, but Arrow could find himself dropping down behind Ryan. Jinnit has retired in the pit lane as T-Money sits in the fastest lap. And it's
virtual safety car. So anybody need to pit? Anybody in a spot that they can consider?
Oh, Jinnit's actually crashed out. I don't know why I thought that was the pit lane. That is the back straight. His car
Arrow,
is...
if he kept the VSC to the pit lane, could consider it because he does have a big. Sorry, not Arrow. Packer. Packer has that big cushion to Arrow. Could potentially go for fastest lap here.
And he is. Packer is going into the pits.
If it ends now, he's going to be in trouble, but I think... Oh, look, Dylan did go in too? No, he didn't. Who's out there?
No, Dylan stayed out. So I'd assume that's a back marker, probably a car close to being lapped. This Arrow really having to take his time here under the VSC and does not pit. So, I mean... We'll see if he can get ahead. I think he is going to clear Packer. Oh, it's going to be so close. And he does get ahead of Packer. Camden, almost clears Packer as well. But we know obviously Packer is going to have unreal pace for the rest of this Grand Prix. A brand new set of soft tires. He is just flying at the moment. We'll see here, I think he's very likely going to clear him down the front straight, the pitch straight here, but Arrow can get a good exit. Oh, and they're so close already. Yeah, I think Packer is going to clear him quite easily. Yeah,
Packer goes to the outside here, and Oh, no, they touch. Aerostrike is bumped by Packer there.
yeah.
Trying to hang it in there and hang on, but just nothing in those mediums. And they do make contact. Jake's, sorry, I was just pointing out, I just wanted to point out, Ryan he's not really being chased down by Adri like we would have expected. Adri's still stuck in that 7-second gap. So
yeah.
Fuzz taking a bit of time out of Adri, but really neither driver really threatening to gain another place at this point. Jake's W.
You have Camden in DRS range on Arrow. We'll see if you can maintain that and maybe challenge Arrow for track position here
again as well. So I have to say, Camden, Zem, and Ryan, I think all may have Arrow on penalties here. Bobby's out. Bobby has lost it. He's out of the Grand Prix. He's got Dylan just about to pass his stricken car. Let's see where he is. Very odd place to lose it. He just took too much curve on that inside. But that's Bobby's race over.
And Camden, right on the back of Arrow here, coming into turn two. Sorry, I just can't find a way by. Very difficult to hang it around the outside there. But I'm wondering now, Arrow's tires got to be just cooked.
Yeah, he is struggling. He's completely under threat here from Camden and Zem. If all he needs is a good exit down the front straight, and he can probably keep this podium, but he is in serious jeopardy of losing it. Camden, Zem, and now Ryan closing in as well. All on 26-lap old tires. The problem is arrows are less durable. So he is absolutely struggling for pace right now. Walking up, which will absolutely not help those tires at this stage.
On off again. In
Big lockup for Arrow again. Arrow is really struggling here. He's overheating those tires with those lockups, and he's already under threat. He could get passed by Camden and Zem here. Can Arrow do anything to fight this?
Wicked exit out of the final corner.
No, here goes Camden.
The outside.
Here comes Zem as well, but Zem not close enough. Arrow down the inside, locks up. He's covered it off. Unbelievable defense from Arrow. And he's squeezed out by Camden there. Camden just more traction, able to take the place finally. Arrow did well to defend that.
The mistake from Zyg, it looks like, and Adri's made it past Zamoglis in all of this as well. Oh, and Zamoglis' car goes airborne. I missed what happened there.
Zem is out of the Grand Prix. Let's see if we can find his car. There it is.
Yeah.
That is a very odd place to go straight off into the barrier. Zamoglis out of the Grand Prix. If you have a clip of that, you should definitely save it.
It was very... I didn't catch all of it. It was in the background, but yeah, I will...
Yeah, because I didn't see it at all. Ryan now really pressuring Aerostrike here. Can Ryan find a way through? Camden has found a way through, and amidst all that chaos, Ryan...
Arrow gets DRS. It's going to make it very difficult. This is really Ryan's last chance here.
Ryan gets a good exit, though. He is in the slipstream. He has that DRS. They're on the left shoulder of Ryan. He is closing. Round to the outside. Arrow defends deep down the inside for Arrow. Arrow gets a good exit there. He might have this covered. He's close.
Ryan as well. They're going to go side by side here into turn 3.
Arrow with a big lockup around the outside. Who's got more traction here? Can Arrow takes it. Arrow covers it off. Here comes Ryan again. This is a terrible place for an overtake, but is he close enough? No, he's not.
Oh, Wolfsburg in there as well.
Arrow with another lockup. He only has to get through half a lap at the Hungaro ring to secure 4th place. At least on track. We don't know about the penalties at the moment, but Adri has really closed on these guys.
Yeah.
We could see Adri jump to a potential podium here. If Camden has penalties, I don't know. I don't think he does. So
and Arrow's gone off, and Adri's gone off.
Adri's crash.
Arrow's got a puncture. The left front on Arrow is punctured.
Oh my lord, Aerostrike. 28 laps on these mediums. He pushed it as long as he could, and his
Buzz is
tire
gonna
has
get him
given
too, I
up on him.
think.
Fuzz through. Adri has nothing on that front wing. He's not going to catch Aero. Aero's going to get away with this in 6th place. We knew those tires must have been close to dead. The amount of lockups in the pace, he just didn't have any pace. Even with the penalties there, he's safe. Unfortunate luck there for Adri. He must have got collected by Aero losing the car with the puncture. Adri drops to 10th as well. He still gets a point there, but Adri deserved a hell of a lot more
Adri
from that.
Actually ran into the back of Ryan, who looked like he had to unexpectedly avoid Aero. Absolute madness on the last lap here.
What a great finish, though. Great result there for Dylan. He wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. Packer in 2nd and Camden takes 3rd. That is your podium. We will get those guys in for an interview in one brief moment. We'll take you through the order. Yeah, great race again, though. Honestly, it's been every race this year in Tier 1 has pretty much been fantastic.
Yeah, week after week.
Yeah,
I consistently getting top-notch racing.
Yeah, there's just so many guys that are on the same level, and those guys do change week to week as well. Certain guys are better at certain tracks, but we see guys like Aero on pace with guys like Zyg and Ryan this week, whereas normally he's hunting down Packer and Dylan. So
yeah,
week to week, different tracks, we do get a good mixture of pace and driver skill. So, yeah, really happy to be here commentating Tier 1. So, Dylan wins it, Packer's 2nd, Camden is 3rd, Ryan is 4th, Fuzz takes 5th, Aerostrike is 6th, T-Money 7th, GB Colin 8th, Zyg is 9th, Adri takes 10th.
Double points finish for the McLaren team. Really solid result for the two of them.
Yeah, great stuff there from T-Money and GP. Both had some issues in the race, but both picked up a nice haul of points there. GXW takes 11th, Durnia is 12th, RC is 7th. Or RC is 13th, I'd write a stupid number, RC 7. RC is 13th, Wolfsburg is 14th. They're going to watch this too because they need the results, so I'm busted for that. Samoglis 15th, Bobby is 16th, Janet 17th, and Beck is 18th. Beck the only guy that did not finish the race. Unfortunate for Beck. One of those guys always has pace. Either DNFs or gets a big haul of points. And this week, he's on the DNF side.
Exciting. It's an exciting brand of racing.
He is an exciting brand of racer. I definitely wouldn't sign him to my team, but I do enjoy watching him.
I do as well.
I hope he doesn't take offense to this. It's just good. It's just good fun. He knows. Better to be fast and dangerous than slow and barely ever make an impact. Yeah. All right, let's get these guys in for an interview. Got to add players to our private party. We're gonna have to create a new one now. I don't know how to do that yet. Where are we here? Packer. For some reason I still don't have Dylan on my friends list. Which I should have learned by now. This guy's here every week. Bobby is devastated. 3 laps before the end.
How's everybody doing?
First member, there is our second member. I'm jacked up. I didn't even race, and the adrenaline is flowing through me.
There,
so
everyone's here.
Only imagine how some of you other guys feel. Yes, we do have the whole gang is here.
Hey, Packer and Fuzz, it's good to see you guys again.
Fuzz?
Or
Fuzz
Puff.
is here.
Wow. Puff.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
who I'm
our
talking
little
to.
trio here, we're becoming great friends in the post-race commentary chat
Yeah,
almost twice a
yeah,
week now, it seems. So,
yeah.
getting familiar. I'm gonna have to start coming up with some new questions for the two of you guys. Dylan now too has been here quite often, but he doesn't commentate Thursday, so he
Yeah.
never gets to grill me after the fact. But we will start with our race winner, Dylan. First off, congratulations. Really well done. Great pace once again. I imagine a bit of a boring one for you, but why don't you talk us through it?
Um, well, yeah, in the end it was quite boring, but I mean, if without that safety car, I think Parker could have made a little bit of a challenge to me because he was on my back the first stint. So I think without that safety car, without him getting held, I think we would have had a great battle. But yeah, unfortunately, he got held, and due to that, he lost a lot of track position. And yeah, basically from then on out, I just drove to the end of the race, trying not to get warnings and trying not to pick up a puncture, and that worked out quite well.
He was gaining a bit on you towards the end, obviously not too much to really threaten. Did you feel the pressure at all? Did you try and pick up the pace, or did you just kind of carry on?
Well, at that stage, I was trying to tire save, and I did it for like 5 or 6 laps, and I let him catch me, and then eventually with a virtual save after before the VSC came out, I was going to push and try and have an attempt at the fast lap, but with that virtual safety car coming out, basically Packer just pitted and went for that instead, and yeah, it was.
Were you thinking about pitting under the VSC to try and get fastest lap?
I mean, if I would have pitted, Packer would have stayed out, and he would have had the win. So
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah, I mean, the safest bet was to just stay out and cruise to the end.
Well, congratulations. I don't really have any other questions at the moment, but we'll return to you after we get to these other two. Packer, second, back on the podium. Again, a bit more of an eventful race. Obviously, you suffered from the double stack under the safety car, but after, you seem to have quite a bit of pace on everyone ahead of you. Why don't you talk us through your race, what you were thinking, and all that?
Yeah, my race was good. First lap was kind of hectic with Zem, making a move on Dylan and going 3 wide into turn 2. That could have been, very interesting, for the final result, but, gratefully nothing happened to me or Dylan or Zamaglis, and then, just staying behind Dylan. I knew he was tire saving, so I was just keeping with him, trying to keep my tires in check as well. And then the safety car came out, and if I didn't pit, I would have lost even more positions than I was going to, even if I double stacked.
Yeah.
So I pitted, and then it was just about getting through the field and then locking down second place because I knew I wasn't going to be able to catch Dylan. Yeah. I started to just a little bit, and then the VSC came out, and I just went for fastest lap. So.
Yeah. You guys did seem pretty equally matched. Maybe even slight advantage to yourself through that first stint. Obviously weren't able to get the move done, and that ended up kind of costing you the race in the safety car. But yeah, good shout. I forgot about the great launch Zamaglis had. Really made that first few corners quite exciting. But yeah, the two of you were able to cover them off, and yeah, really just kind of ran away with it after that. We'll move on to our third place finisher, Camden. This is your second podium in a row? Third podium in a row?
Second straight podium.
Second straight podium. Another great race. You managed, I think you would have beaten Arrow on penalties regardless, but you did clear him on track. And again, very, very aggressive defending. Not in a negative way, but we did see you quite often really move to break that slipstream down the pitch straight. And yeah, I don't think you got overtaken by Fuzz, Moglis, any of those guys who were chasing you down. So why don't you talk us through that?
Yeah, I think they were both faster than me throughout the majority of the race. First of all, I don't know how Arrow managed to get all the way to the end on those tires.
Yeah.
Really well done by him. Yeah, and he stayed in front of me the majority of the time too. So I can't imagine what he would have done on fresher tires. But yeah, qualifying went well. Qualified P4. Zem got an incredible start. I don't know how he did that. And then I was able to get Arrow at the end there. Packer, you coming out of the pits really helped.
Yeah.
And there was a good little battle there. But yeah, I don't know how I ended up with a podium, to be honest with you. Just, stayed disciplined, and I don't know what happened to Zem. Did you guys catch what happened to Zem? Because I think he got in a wreck there at the end.
Very briefly caught it. I don't think it's on stream. I saw the after effects. His car was like airborne in turn 2. I don't know what happened, but he like was legit in the air, and missing a tire. So I don't know if there was contact with anyone or brake failure. I'm not quite sure, but it was
Brake failure.
pretty dramatic from my point of view. Like, I've not seen a car jump the barrier like he did.
It's a shame because he was having a really good race too, and like I said, I think he was faster than me throughout the majority of the race. He was just battling with Fuzz and Ryan, and everybody was kind of in his way, sort of. But yeah, this is a good race. The last 2 races have been good. Kind of worried about the next few tracks, though. I'm not the biggest fan of Belgium or Italy. Those are actually 2 of my least favorite tracks. So it's been fun. We'll see if the fun continues.
Well, you already answered my next question. I'll ask it to the other 2. Always ask it. How is everyone's confidence level heading in? I believe Spa is next. It's a favorite for a lot of people. I know there's like 5 people in the Discord who think they're the king of Spa. I won't name names, but I'm sure they won't be too shy about bringing it up. But yeah, how does everyone feel for Spa? We'll start with Dylan.
I don't actually know. I think I'll be quite good again, but it's not one of my favorites, not one of my worst tracks. It's just right there in the middle, like bang average basically. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to Monza though. Monza is one of my worst tracks. So that's gonna be scary.
What about you, Packer?
Belgium, I don't know. It'll be interesting. I normally like quite bad, or like just being able to stick onto a pack in other leagues, but yeah, I'm not too excited for Belgium. And then for Monza, I'm an Italy merchant, so that should be fun.
They're personally not tracks that I enjoy, especially Monza. I just really don't find... I find it very difficult considering how few corners there are. Not my time to rant, but... no, very exciting race, guys. I mean, very impressive again from the Haas cars. I don't really have any other questions. Bigga, you got anything you want to add?
I am good. I do not need to add anything.
I think this is when you sing the Monster Mash.
Oh no.
He did the
Sorry,
mash.
but oh no.
He did the monster mash. He did the mash. It was a graveyard smash. He did the mash. He did the monster mash.
Giga, I can tell that you're still on the drugs.
Yeah.
How much wine have you drinking tonight?
I can't disclose that information
That was
on air.
not a very inspired performance.
I have no help. It's supposed to be a duet, and I had to do it alone.
But there you go. If you stuck around this long, we've been teasing it all night. Bigga did sing Monster Mash. Aside from that, make sure you guys tune in throughout the rest of the week. We do have Tier 2 on Thursday. As we come to the Hungaro ring, you will likely hear Packer and Camden leading the commentary.
Probably.
That.
Most likely.
And then Sunday night, or I guess depending on where you are, afternoon, we will have our EU tier finishing up Hungary for the week. And as always, Monday night, 8 p.m., you will find us back here with Tier 1 at Spa, a fan favorite for many. One I enjoy watching far more than racing, so I am quite excited for that.
Yeah, I love Spa. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to that. Not a huge fan of Monza, but I do enjoy it for the most part. But I am looking forward to Thursday night. That's Tier 2 for us. We're racing at Hungary, one of my favorite tracks. Hope to see you there. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next week for Belgium for Tier 1. Have a good night, everybody.